Welcome again to Joe's Son of Boxing. Ishmael Davis deservedly outpoints Troy Williamson on a unanimous decision. This apparently was a 12-round eliminator for the British title. I think I picked Williamson in my prediction preview video. I just thought he might outlast Davis, and also Davis hadn't really faced anyone before Williamson. Ewan McKenzie, I mean, he knocked him out in 8 rounds. McKenzie was undefeated 8-0 at the time, but definitely Williamson was going to be a much tougher proposition. Davis, 28 years old. Williamson is 32 now. Came in with a 20 wins, 14 KOs, 2 defeats. Record, lost to... what's the guy's name? Kieran Agyarko. Is that his name? Kieran? Cayman? Oh, I can never pronounce those Irish names. Sorry. Ignorant Englishman, sorry. He lost a split decision to him over 10 in his last fight, and just didn't look that motivated, to be honest with you. And then, of course, two fights prior to that, he lost a unanimous decision, wide unanimous decision, very wide, to Josh Kelly. Lost his title, lost his British super-welterweight title. So... yeah, I mean, this was sort of last chance saloon maybe for Troy Williamson, but Davis was completely untested. It's fine, in my mind, he's completely untested, but he came of age today, well, against Williamson. He negotiated, navigated, whatever word you want to use, 36 minutes very well, the 12 rounds. He hadn't been anywhere near 12, actually. He hadn't been beyond 8. Previously in his career, and yeah, he felt the pace. He did feel the pace. Williamson, in his previous fight, like I say, against Agyarko, he just didn't throw enough punches. And if he was to have any chance of beating Davis, from the word go, he was going to have to just tear after him and constantly keep those levers pumping, because, really test Davis. And to some extent, he did that. But not enough of it, because Davis, I mean, part of that was Davis's fault, because he boxed very, very well early on when he was fresh, and he was popping Williamson, and he was a step ahead, and he was a punch ahead, and defensively he wasn't bad at all. He just controlled the range better. But gradually, after maybe 3 rounds, Williamson started to get closer, and he started to let his hands go more. He was trying to be more industrious, more proactive than perhaps we've seen him in over the last couple of years. Now, he actually failed to make the weight by 4 pounds, just over 4 pounds, which was a concern. But and I thought that might leave him sluggish, because sometimes if you come in overweight and you have to ball some weight off, you can be low on energy. But to be honest with you, Williamson was throwing a lot of punches, and I can't really fault him, even though at the start Davis was winning the rounds quite clearly. The first third of the fight, I don't really think it's because Williamson was sluggish or wasn't throwing punches. He was trying to. He was just getting popped and outworked and outslicked. But after maybe once we entered the second third of the fight, so rounds 5 onwards, Williamson, his engine was running, and he did creep back into it. He was sort of threatening to get close and work Davis over, although Davis, in fairness, was still landing some very good uppercuts. I mean, he's very good with the uppercut, Davis. Jabbing nicely. But Williamson, there's no doubt, he was not as skillful a fighter, not as slick a fighter as Davis, but he was landing his own punches and trying to work over Davis, trying to drain that gas tank. Davis had this habit. He's listed as an orthodox fighter, same as Williamson. He had this habit of occasionally he would switch southpaw. He did that actually within the first minute of the fight, and I'm like, what's he doing? But he was kind of I don't really know why he was doing it, and I don't really like to see someone do that switch hit unless they've got there's some sort of thought behind it. I think maybe it was to just try and offset Williamson. Didn't really seem to work. Williamson was still trying to land salvos or punches when he could get close enough. He was aware, and his corner were aware, that while there was a gap between them, it was going to be Davis's fight all day. There was you could see the effect that Davis's punches were having on Williamson, because under one eye which eye was it? I can never remember which eye these injuries occur on. It was, I think it was the right eye. He had quite a nasty swelling, and an abrasion, an ugly looking sort of discoloration. And I thought this happened in the mid rounds, and I was thinking, I wonder if this is going to blow up and the eye is going to shut. In fact, it didn't. It didn't. Not through Davis not landing punches, because he was landing punches, but there was no doubt that Ishmael Davis did answer the question regarding the distance, and he actually paced himself quite well. I had this fight 115, 113 at the end in favour of Davis, and the judges clearly they had it. They thought that they would have told me that was too close, because I think two of them made it 116, 112, one had it 117, 111, I think. But when I totted up my card, I thought, oh, that's close, maybe. But there were a couple of rounds where it was a case of, what do you like? And maybe 2 or 3 rounds where you're thinking, do I like the accuracy of Davis, or do I like the industry of Williamson? So I guess you could call them swing rounds. But there's no doubt about it. I mean, Davis, I think, will be a much better fighter for this 12 rounds. He'd never been anywhere near 12 rounds before. Like I say, he'd only done 8 before. This 12 rounds is good. He's going to fight for the British title, super welterweight title. For Williamson at 32, he's lost 3 of his last 4, all on points. Points. 2 of them were 12 rounders. One of them was a 10. The Aguiarco one was a 10 rounder. Obviously, the Kelly one was a 12 rounder as well. But I do think that, can he come back? Does he want to stick around and become the opponent? He can. He's good. He's a real tough guy. I mean, he's got a great chin, and he's got a fantastic engine. And yeah, it's feasible that he can make another run at the British title, but he's going to have to climb the ladder again. And I think we might have, unless he does want to go down the gatekeeper route, we might have. His career is winding down, even though he's only 32. I don't know. It's down to him, isn't it? But for Davis, yeah, a title shot definitely beckons. So what did you think of this fight? I assume you thought Davis won it. What do you think of Davis? How far can he go? What do you think of Williamson? Do you think he should make another run at the title, or maybe, call it a day? He's been British champ after all. It's a hell of a thing to achieve. Let me know what you think. Comments below as usual. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new, and also hit the like button. It just takes a second. That's what it takes, a little second to tap the subscribe button and give that little like button a poke. Anyway, more to come. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.